Abortion rights advocates are taking to the streets in cities across the country, including right here in Tucson. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Mooney.
And I'm Amanda Gomez. After a draft of the Supreme Court opinion overturning Roe v. Wade leaked, hundreds of pro-choice supporters gathered tonight downtown. As News 4 Tucson's Eric Fink reports, they are outraged as they look to keep abortion legal and out of state government's hands. He joins us now live with the latest. Eric.
Sean, Amanda, earlier tonight there were hundreds of pro-choice Southern Arizonans here standing up and speaking out against that majority draft opinion that was leaked last night. Their message: we cannot go backwards. They are vowing to fight to protect a woman's right to choose.
Our bodies, our choice.
Their voices were loud, their message was clear. They want to keep Roe versus Wade, keep the right to safe and legal abortion nationwide as federal legislation and not be decided state by state. The Supreme Court's Chief Justice today, Justice John Roberts, says there will be an investigation to get to the bottom of this unprecedented leak. Now, this is a majority draft opinion from February. The court has not made a final decision on the Mississippi case challenging Roe v. Wade, but some Southern Arizonans, young and old, are gearing up for a fight for and against, nearly 5 decades after the court first decided on Roe.
We did this already 50 years ago, 53 years ago. Giving it back to the states will take us back to a place where I was at as a young teenage girl and a young 20-something-year-old girl when there was no legal abortion and I had no ability to make a choice. We can't go backwards. We need to go forwards.
We can't be in America divided between life states and kill states. I was hoping and praying, still am, that when abortion is overturned in America, it will be completely overturned as a federal constitutional right, as it says in the Declaration: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, the paramount one being life.
Now again, this is a draft opinion, no final decision, no final vote from the court. A final decision on this is expected sometime in June or early July. Nevertheless, some pro-choice supporters earlier today telling me that they will continue to protest, continue to demonstrate throughout the summer and through the midterm elections this November. We're live tonight downtown. I'm Eric Fink, News 4 Tucson.
Thank you, Eric. Tonight, we're also getting a reaction to the unprecedented breach of the Supreme Court from a legal expert from the University of Arizona. Barbara Atwood, a professor of law at the U of A, says the court will be putting a microscope over this to try and find the source of the leak. She says only a small group of people could have had access to such documents, the justices themselves and their legal clerks. The big question is why it was leaked and who would have the motivations to do so. She doesn't believe it's likely that any justice would be behind this.
I assume the person would lose their position at the court. They would be fired, I assume. But I don't, people have been speculating about that. Is there some criminal sanction? And we don't know of actually a criminal law that would have been breached.
If the Roe decision is actually overturned, Atwood says it would likely lead to a large debate within the state legislature to determine what the state's position on abortion will be. After a recent law passed to ban abortions after 15 weeks, she expects the state to take a more anti-abortion position.
President Joe Biden is speaking out today. According to the draft document, the justices found there's no inherent right to abortion because it is not covered under privacy protections in the Constitution. President Biden spoke about it briefly to reporters before boarding Air Force One.
If the rationale of the decision as released were to be sustained, a whole range of rights are in question, a whole range of rights. And the idea we're letting the states make those decisions, localities make those decisions, would be a fundamental shift in what we've done. So it goes far beyond, in my view, if it becomes a law and if what is written is what remains. It goes far beyond the concern of whether or not there is the right to choose. It goes to other basic rights.
President Biden added he hadn't had a chance to thoroughly go into the report, but he hopes ultimately there's not enough support for it to pass. And we are hearing from Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich on this Supreme Court leak. Brnovich tweeting earlier today, quote, "We are proud to stand with life this term of the U.S. Supreme Court. We joined the effort in Mississippi's landmark case and refused to back down in other cases when others would not. We will always protect the most vulnerable in our state," end quote.